I hope you don't wait to give me roses. Please don't take too long to think that you should know me. Please, for real. Please don't wait too long to tell me I'm the shit, yo. See you flourish, looking salty, throwing fits, yo. Then you bury, getting lonely, wanna miss, yo. Get from around me, you clowny, you looking needy, yo.
Welcome to episode 13 of Opinionated Facts. I'm your host, Drizzle. Today I got a special guest in the building, my man Cannon, one of the most versatile fellas you might meet ever in your life. Tell him what you got going on, man. Just a little insight, you know what I'm saying, what you got going on right now.
So right now my main creative focus is the graphic novel Blackheart that I'm writing and designing and releasing.
Okay. All right. Now, I asked you earlier about music. What's the verdict with that, man?
So I mean, when you are actively pursuing a career in music and actively trying to release a book, it's a whole lot of time, more time than any human really has to spare. So luckily, a lot of the support that I got from my music has bled over into the graphic novel. A lot of people that like what I do support my creative output no matter what it is. So I know that I got some time to focus on this and get this in a spot to where it can move on its own, and then I can return my focus to rapping.
Okay. Yeah, because you can rap.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to rap, man.
You can definitely rap.
To be honest, the reception that I'm getting from Blackheart I don't think would have been as overwhelmingly positive if it wasn't for rap. So, you know, besides the fact that it's just ingrained in me and I'm always going to do it, you know, I feel like I owe it to rap to continue doing that with it helping me in other areas. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what was your inspiration for Blackheart?
Like what made me want to do it, or like what, the story itself, or
basically like what was the inspiration for that story, for that direction?
Man, it's weird. Well, I mean, the main theme of Blackheart throughout the entirety of the series is when you're caught in between your ambitions and your love for what your passions and the relationships that you're in, you know, because sometimes those things can clash, you know. And I've been in that situation a lot, especially with rap, you know, where it's like a woman I might be involved in at the time may feel neglected, and I feel like I'm being held back because I'm trying to do this, and then there are times where I'm using that as an excuse and I really am being neglectful, you know. It's just a frustrating situation. So that tiny little seed is what ended up growing into the story that Blackheart is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's so that means that the story has layers.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, who is your inspiration for your characters? Because usually when people write books or, you know, do comic books or things like that, they're inspired by people in their real life to lead them to make characters, you know, that might be influenced by them. So
my main character, there are a lot of important characters in Blackheart. Like there is a main character, Thomas Black, but I want the audiences to be able to connect with all my characters, you know. So the main character, I didn't really have any real life, like it's not like a person I know that I can say, oh, Thomas is based on. Like a lot of people think he's based on me, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not really based on anyone, really. Because when I first came up with the idea to do this, it wasn't my intention to actually release a comic book. It was actually one of my label mates suggested that for merch that I was going to put out with an album, that I just create a character and put it on a shirt. You know what I'm saying? So I came up with what he looked like. I just wanted to do something that looked cool. And then as I was hitting roadblocks, I'm like, man, I can't further develop this character design without having a story to go along with it. So it just started off with me doing something that I thought would be cool, like a character that I would like to see. Other characters, though, are, you know, based on my friends, you know, previous girlfriends, parents, all that stuff. Just any person I meet that I think is unique or has stood out strongly in my life, I incorporate them into a character in some way. Most characters are composites of like 5 or 6 people.
Okay. So out of all the characters that you've made, that you have for Blackheart so far, who would you say is your favorite character in the story?
So overall, with me just knowing how the story ends, my favorite character is Cricket, the main character's younger brother, and he's actually based on my younger brother.
Okay.
He has You know, he's super smart. He's autistic. This is my little brother's autistic too. That's something else that I want to bring awareness to in the book. You know, I'm not going to beat anybody over the head with any one of my messages, but just one of the things that's in there is, you know, I know a lot of people have misconceptions about what autism is. So with Cricket, I wanted to try to dispel some of those. But yeah, outside of that, Cricket's just cheery. He's fun. He's happy. He's like the almost the comic relief to the story, because the story gets really dark at times, and Cricket helps balance it out.
Oh, okay. So is the story already done? So Blackheart, as far as you already have all the chapters and everything written out, or?
Yeah, so like that's kind of like a hard question to answer. Like the story itself, like conceptually is done, like everything that happens, all the scenes and all that stuff. But the actual, I'll say it's outlined in great detail. And but as far as actually scripting each chapter, what I have to send to my illustrator, I do that. I stay paced with my illustrator, because sometimes what you script doesn't always translate to the page the way you had envisioned it. So you may have to make adjustments. And let's say I've written ahead to chapter 10, you know, and my illustrator's on chapter 3, and it turns out, oh, you have to change this because it doesn't work out right. Then I'll have to rewrite everything in each subsequent chapter, you know. So as far as the scripting itself, I stay with my illustrator, but everything else is together and ready to go.
Okay, that's good. But I want to get back to Blackheart, because I think I forgot to ask you this question. Now you said your main character name is Thomas Black. Mm-hmm. Where does the heart part come into play at?
So I'm trying to figure out how to explain this without giving spoilers. Well, one, it being called Blackheart is just a play on the fact that Thomas is a really black-hearted, apathetic character. You know, that's part of his character development. One of the things one of his internal struggles he has to deal with throughout the story is learning to care about things outside of himself. You know, he's really self-absorbed and dark, you know. So there's that, and then there's another level of the fact that something at a critical turning point in the story, he actually has an issue with his heart, you know. And the thing is, there's a resource in the story called Fuel, F-U-L-E, and it's basically what the whole economy in the world of Blackheart is based around, this resource, and it's super scarce now in his time. So it's the most it was already the most valuable. Now it's, you know, it's the only thing that matters. Thomas was born with this resource in his bloodstream. You know what I'm saying? So he and the stuff, it looks like a nebula. You know, it's like black with like different speckled colors and stuff in it. And it's actually coursing through his heart. He has it in his bloodstream. So that's another reason why it's called Blackheart. And he also just has a jacket that has a black heart on the shoulder. He wears his heart on his sleeve. You know? That's it.
I see what you're doing. Now that's not the answer I thought. I thought you were just gonna be like, shit, heart. It just went with it. It just sounded good. Like, he said, nah, I got layers to this. Hold on, let me show you. So
man. I've been working on this story for like 4 years, man. It's been a long time coming. My biggest influence on the writing influences are Tolkien and George R.R. Martin and Naruto too, honestly, because they have big worlds, detailed world building, and all the characters matter. You watch an episode of Naruto, you know, somebody dies, you know. I'm not gonna say nobody, but somebody dies fighting pain, you know what I'm saying? And that was like a critical moment for a lot of people. And these aren't even main characters. That's beautiful to me, when it's like people care about everyone other the other characters as much as they do about the ones who are making the story progress. Game of Thrones, like, of course, Jon and Daenerys are the main characters, but are they really? You know what I'm saying?
What was your thoughts on that, man? On the last season and the finale on Game of Thrones, man? Because I feel like that throughout the season, because they had been messing up. I say for like since about season 5, maybe after season 5, they've been having little hiccups, but nothing too crazy, you know. I feel like with this season, they had too many hookups. Plus, it was a shorter season again, but they had too many hiccups, and then they didn't finish strong. I feel like a strong finale or final part of the season, last 2-3 episodes, can erase all the bullshit that happened in the first 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And I feel like they just didn't give a fuck.
Season 7 was weak to me. I was like really disappointed in season 7. Because the thing is Game of Thrones, they like really did it to themselves. They had already set such a high bar, themselves. Yeah. So when I'm coming into season 7, I'm expecting the same caliber, and it wasn't there. But I was like, all right, it's cool. We're gonna wait for season 8. It started off strong, and then like you said, the end it completely dwindled away. Man, the showrunners are supposed to be writing the next Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
And Disney cashed that check out. And to me, what it seems like, they was like, man, fuck Game of Thrones. We're going to wrap this up and get to this other money. You know
because
what I'm saying?
HBO even said that they told them that they could have did more.
They would have gave them more money and everything.
And they said, nah, we're going to stop at 73.
Come on, dog. That killed me, bro. Man. Stop. I was so mad about that.
We are going to stop, bro.
I was so mad about that. Y'all could have let somebody else take it over and do something, man. Don't just crush it. You know what I'm saying? This could have been the greatest show of all time, in my opinion.
And I get that the prequel's coming, but we got so many questions that like we still don't know where Bran went when he said I must go now.
Yeah.
And like he was the Raven, he flew past the Night King. We don't know the Night King's like what his purpose was at the end of the day. How did Bran said he knew everything was gonna happen, so he just let everything happen so he could become king. Like there's so many questions, bro, where it's like are they like it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like what was us finding out Jon was part Targaryen if he was just gonna end up back at the wall?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we doing with all this information, bro? And it's like they just
where the story was, it was not at a point to where it could have been ended in 2 more 8-episode seasons.
Exactly.
Yeah, all these other storylines and threads had a lot of weight on them, and then it just made it feel like it was all for nothing whenever they ended it and clipped the strings, man. So yeah, I was disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I still love the first 6 seasons.
Fire.
So I had to go. I got all the books, so I'm gonna pick up at season 3, I think, or book 3.
Because the new book hasn't came out yet, has it?
But he's been talking. Apparently, they're coming out. They've always been about to come out, of course. Yeah. But I'm gonna get those. I went and got that World of Ice and Fire, which is basically like the Game of Thrones Silmarillion.
Yeah.
And I'm going through that, and that's like scratching my Game of Thrones itch.
Yeah. Hopefully the prequel is good. Like I'm kind of on the fence if I'm eager to entertain it.
Bro, I'm probably not even gonna watch it.
See, that's the thing. I'm like, the way that it ended, I was just it took the life out of that type of show for me. Like
yeah. But Amazon got that Lord of the Rings series coming.
On Amazon Prime?
Yeah, they kicked out like $1 billion or something like that to get the rights to do it. 5 seasons of Lord of the Rings.
They got Orlando Bloom?
Nah, I think they doing.
I know he's on that show Carnival Row on there on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I don't think they're remaking the movies. I think they're doing like some in the past stuff.
Okay.
Basically like a prequel for real.
Yeah,
they're doing some shit from the Silmarillion.
That might be alright.
I'm gonna give it a try, but I love Lord of the Rings. So
yeah, Lord of the Rings was always. I like the action scenes, but it would drag sometimes.
It did drag.
It would drag sometimes. I'd be like, damn, bro, like
it did.
Somebody swing a sword, bro. Like do something. Like shoot an arrow.
Man, those are such huge like stories. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. I mean, Peter Jackson did a great job. You know what I'm saying of translating from the books to the film. But
yeah.
There's so much that you have to fit in there that's important. It's hard to balance it, I guess. When I was a kid, I loved it, but now when I go back and watch it, I'm kind of like,
it's a dub.
Yeah. I love the books, though. The books are still like that. Well, Lord of the Rings is important, though, because that was like the first Fellowship of the Ring, was like the first big fantasy epic like film to happen, you know what I'm saying? Like of that scale and that budget, we ain't seen no movies like that. You know what I'm saying? Top tier actors, all this CGI, you know,
especially at that time.
Hell yeah! So it was like landmark. It made studios be like, okay, we can invest some money into some sci-fi fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
which in turn helps people like me. You know.
Yeah, that's a fact. So have you thought of the idea of eventually turning? I mean, because of course it takes time, but eventually turning Blackheart into possibly a short like animated series or something, like a little 10-15 minute episodes.
When I first started coming up with the story and doing the world building and stuff, that was my intention, was to go straight to animation. But that's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
You know, with so after I release the first 3 chapters, I'm going on a pitching tour. So I'm going to, you know, Netflix, Adult Swim, and I'm going to Image and Dark Horse and Valiant. I'm going to all these places and, you know, pitching the project. So if that's animation is one of those things where it would have to get picked up by a bigger studio, and I get some funding because I can afford that. I looked at I talked to this boutique animation studio in Barcelona, and we were discussing doing a 30-second trailer, and it was $9,000 for 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So some episodes of Naruto cost $100,000, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know. So the thing is when I heard that, I was a little discouraged. You know, so the story is a story, regardless of the medium. But I actually ended up, as I was traveling around going to conventions and stuff, I actually ended up getting a couple publishing contract offers, and I decided not to sign with any of them. I'm still focused on my independent thing at the moment to see what I can do on my own. But either way, the pipeline was always the same. It started off with comics or graphic novels, and then move on to animation. Because if you can generate some buzz or a fan base off of this, it makes them feel more comfortable investing the money in you to do animation. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I was actually glad about that because I've always loved reading comics, but since I was like, okay, let me do the comic thing, and because I can afford this, I found out that shit, I love making comics. You know, so it worked out. Yeah, and Blackheart animation TV show. I don't even want to do no 10-15 minute episodes. I want to do a
hour.
And that'll probably be 23 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to pull an Afro Samurai number.
Yeah, I want to do a whole joint. You know what I'm saying?
That would definitely be dope. That would definitely for sure. Because when I was a kid in class, you know what I'm saying, we used to draw and we used to make comic books in class. So like, we, you know, write a page and then we hand it to the homie. He'd do up a page or whatever, draw the shit, and we would just
pass it around.
Yeah, you feel me? So that's how we would make our little comic books. And I was like, man, like, this would be dope if we had, like, if it was, like, an actual TV show. It was actually kind of cool, like, what we was doing, because we all had our own characters. You know, between 4 of us, so we draw a page or whatever with our character doing something, like, talking about some shit or fighting. And then the next person would, like, just build off whatever you drew and whatever you wrote. You feel me? We would just, tell the story like that.
That's cool.
And, yeah, bro, it was dope. And as a kid, I was like, man, what if we turn this into like an actual show, like Dragon Ball Z or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that was a show back then. We growing up. Yeah. It was Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wars or some shit.
Gundam
Wing or whatever, bro. We watching those 2 shows, so we thing the characters and our designs and shit, bro. And it was like if getting a show animated, I feel like that's like one of the like that'd be like the dopest feeling, bro. Like getting, especially if you get it picked up, you know what I'm saying? You get it picked up by an Adult Swim or, you know what I'm saying, Cartoon Network, whoever wants to pick it up, they pick it up. That would be like a major, like, accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? And not a lot of people could say, like, you had an idea that other people see it and say, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a great feeling when people believe in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, I like what you're doing. I'll invest, you know what I'm saying? Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, like, you keep doing what you're doing, I take care of all the other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I need, because I really don't want to have to keep handling, like, the business and the marketing of it. That's my least favorite part. Like, I like all the creative sides of it. Like, if we're doing packaging, I want to design what the boxes look like. But I don't want to have to worry about logistics and all that. That's
the advertisement,
man.
Marketing, who to market to, who not to market to.
Man. Just let me make it. I just want to make it. You know, I can do all that other stuff because I've had to, you know, for this and with rap, you know. But I want just more time to focus on the creative aspect. The good thing about making a comic, though, with cartoons is you literally have the storyboards for the show, you know? Like, you can literally just give somebody a comic book and be like, this is the show. But, I mean, comics look just like a storyboard for a movie, you know? So, it's easy to do. So, I mean, I looked at, I read the 300 graphic novel. Yeah. And, bro, it's panels are exactly the same as the scenes in the movie. Like, you read it and you're like, dad, this is literally exactly what happened. The shot with Leonidas kicking dude in the chest, the thing literally right in there. The shot when the messenger first pulls up and his horse rears up on his haunches and stuff, literally directly from the comic book. It makes the director's job a lot
that much easier.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it's supposed to look like, guys.
Yeah,
like,
feel me? And you can do your own thing with it, but at least you
yeah.
have a guide, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, do you have a team at Blackheart, or is it just you?
So, I'm the writer, and I do the character designs. Like, I write the character designs. Kale New lives in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, does my concept art. So if I create a new character, or when a character is about to be introduced, I'll write out exactly what I want him to look like, send it to Kale. He murders it, you know. And then Aggie Alcanedo lives in Butuan City, Philippines. Does the actual illustration for the book itself. So I send Aggie the scripts for what happens for each chapter. Kale sends him the concept art for what the characters look like, and then Aggie does his thing.
That's dope. Because you outsourced.
Yeah.
You feel me? You didn't just stick to.
I had
looking for somebody local or stateside. You was like, man, it was global.
Actually, the thing about that is the first concept artist that I worked with on Blackheart, their names are Ian and Aiden Adon. I'm not sure how you say his name. Wester. Right? Yeah. They live in Oakland. They're these twins. They did the original concept for Blackheart, and it was popping. I ended up, deciding to go with Kale because stylistically it was more what I was looking for. But I actually started out with American. They're actually black too, with artists, you know what I'm saying? And but when I'm just searching, as I'm getting my submissions, and because the people that I work with the exception of Kale, I hunted him down. Yeah. But Aggie, he applied. A bunch of different artists applied to work on. Somebody from Marvel and everything applied to do the illustration. And it just so happened that the person's portfolio that I liked the most happened to live in the Philippines. And he dedicated himself to it. He was already working on other projects. He quit all of his other projects. He doesn't even have a job anymore. He just works exclusively. He just exclusively draws Blackheart. Dang. So I was like, yeah, that's a big commitment. I appreciate that. I gotta rock with you.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. You can get a commitment like that from somebody that
it's amazing, man.
Like, you feel me? That you never personally met. Yeah, you don't know what, bro. It could be a 10-year-old kid going crazy. I
got him on Facebook, so I know he's something, but he don't got too many pictures, man. We've never even Skyped because I've tried to FaceTime him and stuff like that whenever I got a big idea and I'm just trying to ramble it off. I don't want to type it. But he can't speak English for real. He can write and read English perfectly, but
he can't speak it.
He can't speak it. So I'm like, bro, I can just talk to you and you can just type back, but let's get it out. But it don't work that way. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope right there. Well, shit, man. You got any shout outs? When does Blackheart release your merch? Where can they find it? Where can they find you?
Okay. Man, I'm not important in the grand scheme. And also it's can't rap on everything, but the more important thing is at Blackheart Comic on Instagram. That's where you can see concept art, alternate stuff we didn't use, get all the quickest updates. If you want to grab any of the merchandise, we have hats, shirts, crew necks, everything, and all the proceeds go to creating future issues of the comic book. That's all available on blackheartcomic.com. The first chapter releases December 8th. It'll be available anywhere you can get an ebook. The A+ Comics in Lexington will have it. Heroes Comics in Louisville will have it, the hard copies. And then December 13th, the Speed Art Museum is having a featured exhibit on me at Speed After Dark. So I'll have a whole booth and everything set up there, and you can come check me out there.
Cool. That's dope. Speed Museum.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's nice. You got any shout outs?
Man, listen to Kids Are Watching from Package Music, man. Amazing alt rock album. They're doing something new for the state. You haven't really seen too much what they got going on. I like seeing people push the envelope, so check that out.
I actually turned my new coworker on to him.
Yeah, for real.
On the package, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
He said he said I don't know much about rock.
Me either.
But he was like, dude, who are these guys? He was looking at the little Bluetooth thing, saying he was like, package. He was like, hey, you said? I said, yeah. He said, who are these dudes? Yeah. He was like, they got a Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, but I like it too though. I was like, I don't know the vibe. I don't know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, none of that shit.
Word.
But he was like, yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe too. I liked it. He was like, where are they from? And I told him Louisville. And I told him it was actually in Lex Thursday.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're gonna be in Nashville this weekend. I think next week they finishing up in Louisville. Because he's from like Knoxville or whatever. He just moved up here.
Word,
so he was like, oh man, he was like, man, I need it. Next time they come to Lex, I might go, man. He was, I like that. I like the music and stuff. So
that's tight,
yeah,
man.
I turned him on to him, bro. So
yeah,
I was like,
what's up,
I did my music deed for the day.
Feel me? Yeah, so I'm talking about, man, Kentucky's hitting all kind of different areas, you know. Killing on, I mean, G's Louise is cold on the rock tip too. You know, rock music, rap music, comic books, painting, all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Spoken word, poetry. There's all kind of other authors around here that are doing that thing, man. It's a great environment to be in right now. Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Episode 13, Opinionated Facts. We out.
Aviation. You know what I'm saying? The investment in November, nigga. Aviation. I don't even get no aviation tag on this one. Straightforward. It's for them niggas who laughed when I showed them comic books. Come take a trip to the bank. Now I'ma show you how commas look. Space age pimpin', bitch. This is how a rocket looks. A dime was on my arm way before it was in my pocketbook. Copper crook and castle and quarters of some exotic kush. Rockin' one of the octagons. They see me and they stop and look. Son and all these rappers, man. This is how your papa looks. You just a fish in the sea that be biting when I drop a hook. Swimming with the sharks, the kiddie pools for piranhas and prima donnas. Spit it straight to your head, come get your lineup. Cannon and KY Bomber, that's never gonna be another. Get tatted all you want, bitch, we never gonna be each other. Keep talking all the shit you gon' do when we see each other. But it's cool, cause you broke, so we never gonna meet each other.